Jump in my 6'4" and let the top dine. Trunk hitting hard when I swing through H-time. Cup full of oil and an orange kush sweet. Cause this is how we do it in that 713. My candy red paint cocked up on foe. Shocking and body rocking cause the south side ho. DJ Screw got me falling asleep. This is how we do it in that 713.
Welcome to Sports with Balls. Here are your hosts, Jeff Michael, Lauren Leal, and Grant Miles.
That'd
Yo.
be me.
What up?
Uh-oh.
What up?
Save the best for last.
Oh, is that why?
Oh, is that why your name's last?
That's what I heard.
Yeah. Dude,
Faux show?
here
show.
we go. Talk about a show, dude. Like, this is amazing what's going on in sports right now. Number
It's
one,
back.
Garrett Cole just got rocked for a homer. So, I love that. Astros start tomorrow. Obviously, absolutely amazing. Oh, Johnny, did you just press yeah even though you're a Yankees fan?
I know.
Hey, he is
He's not
supporting
paying
us.
attention.
Watch out.
Welcome into Sports with Balls, guys. We have finally made it to our baseball special. Whoop, whoop. We've been talking about it for quite some time.
I don't even need notes for this show. I'm
No.
fired up about this.
I'm
Let's
excited
go,
to hear
let's
everything you
go.
have to say.
Oh, coming from the Rangers
right.
fan over here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you, James. I know you're sitting right here. We got a couple of fans in the house. We're over here at Valor. Listen, first of all, welcome everybody again. Sports with Balls. Lauren Leal, Grant Miles,
Yup.
Grant Papa Miles, Lauren, the real deal Leal.
Hey,
Watch
I like
out.
it. Coming at you. And we got the Jeff Michael.
Ooh,
Brr.
yeah.
Mr.
There we go.
Mr. Unpopular.
Unpopular. Why'd you say
Unpopular.
that?
You know so many people in Houston, Jeff.
No, I know.
You're
a
like,
few.
oh, yeah, I know this person or that person. And I'm like,
We'll get to the
He
Jeff
knows the
name
town.
drop second in a little bit.
Dude,
Did you know that I know
Johnny
so-and-so?
J right there. He knows like 4 times as many as I do. So, Johnny, what's up, man? You good? Good. He's a
that's
Yankees fan.
He's doing
so
good.
We're not good. We'll keep you guys updated on the score. I'm sure people are watching or whatever. But again, welcome everybody. We are over here at Valor 2217 West 34th Street. One of our favorite places to shoot
Love
this
this
show,
place.
man.
We love being here. I mean, how
Absolutely.
patriotic,
Brock
American.
and James.
Yes.
Brock's doing work, too, while we're
I
doing
know he's
this.
over there shaving people.
I know
He's
there's
doing
literally
work.
people right on the other side of the cameras
Take
Yes.
your hat off.
getting their hair done.
You need to trim.
I know. That's why I have my hat on. You don't want to see what's under here.
And Johnny said he would give you a haircut for free.
Hey, like I said, I do it for free anyway, so
Lots of
it's all
stuff.
good.
Oh man,
All of
you got a little gunfire in there, like a little shot fired.
Pew pew.
Yeah, like a pew. That would be a good one. We should do that one, like a little video, like pew pew. Welcome everybody. We got a few things to go on before we get to all the baseball stuff we're going to talk about. So, Lauren, what's going on today?
All right, I'm hitting you with the hot topics right off the bat. So we want to bring the hot topics to you, all thanks to, like we said, Valor Parlor here at 2217 West 34th in the Heights. Awesome place. Love the location. Love everything about this place. You feel welcome and home. But anyways, like we said, we're starting it off with the hot topics, and woo! It is sizzling today. So we got Mike Tyson returning to the ring for the first time in 15 years. I know you were super stoked about this.
Yes.
And who he is going up against.
Roy Jones.
Roy Jones in an exhibition game in September.
Fight.
Boom.
Exhibition fight. Not a game.
Sorry. Not a game. Sorry.
10 rounds exhibition.
You're so right. This is why I don't do fighting.
I don't know if they do weigh-ins for exhibitions or whatnot. I don't even know how they're going to do this. We're not going to spend a ton of time on it, but just to see Mike Tyson walk out of that just walk down that hall with the black shorts and the black shoes, like, whoa. Like, go to Sports with Balls right now. I just posted a picture of him. He's holding up a magazine when he was like 18. It's phenomenal of him right now. Yeah. He looks great.
I just wonder that word exhibition. I wonder what that's going to be like. I wonder how serious.
Remember Rocky III when Hulk
It's his
Hogan?
first time back.
It was an exhibition.
It's his first time back. It's got to be pretty serious. And moving on to the next one, very serious topic that's been at hand for a while is the Washington Redskins. Not Redskins anymore. What is it going to be? Today came out with Washington football team. How do we feel about this, guys?
I'm silent. I don't know how to feel about it.
I thought the same thing.
Yes.
Johnny voiced his opinion right now.
What in the hell are they thinking? The
I feel like
Washington football team.
I feel like I'm going to hear, let's hear it for the Washington football
So
team.
is there a PR person?
And you have all these little league kids running out.
Well, I
That's
think-
how I feel.
I think this
sounds.
is Dan Snyder's flipping the bird. Like, okay, you want me
Yeah.
to change my name? Here we go. We'll be
What
the
if you got
football
signed,
team.
right? You get picked
Literally
up by
what I
Washington.
said. Yeah, what I said in
Oh
our
yeah,
group
yeah,
text.
yeah, absolutely.
Like,
Yes.
okay, this is what you want to do. Fine.
Correct.
Washington football.
Yes,
You
Washington
got-
football team.
You got like drafted
I like
by
the
the
Generals.
Washington.
The Generals.
You mentioned that last
Oh,
year.
Yeah.
just terrible, 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 dude.
I will
But
just glad
everything
they're
about
not
the
here.
Reds, everything about Washington, it just. I mean, this is kind of apropos of them. Like just saying.
Wiley said if they win a game this season, I'd be surprised. And I mean,
I mean, how do you feel right now if you're Dwayne Haskins? How do you feel right now if you're
Yeah,
any of those
that's what I'm
guys?
saying.
if you're
like,
Ron Rivera, you
whoa.
just took this job.
Yeah,
You just
exactly.
got there. You just
And
walked in
all
the
his
door.
bombs just boom.
You haven't even settled in your office yet, and
welcome guys.
You gotta,
to the,
you
what's
got,
their logo?
I-
W.
Just the W.
W. All right. Well, hey, look, is what it is at this point.
the Washington.
Hey,
football
listen,
team.
as
I mean,
far
it's
as
like the-
2020 goes, this is par for the course.
There you
Yes,
go. There you
absolutely.
go.
Washington
They'll-
football.
Alongside the Nationals got the little Walgreens W. Now they'll have just another plain W.
God.
Moving on from the NFL, we go into what we've been excited to talk about all week, all day, is baseball.
Yeah.
So we heard that Clayton Kershaw is out due to injury.
Will not pitch tonight versus the Giants.
Right.
L.A. Dodgers and San Francisco play tonight, 9 p.m. I think it's 8 o'clock our time.
10
no, 9
Eastern
our time.
time.
9 our time.
Man,
Yeah.
such a late game. That's West Coast.
And Grant,
so
we were talking about this, but the Dodgers, their injuries, dude. Like, this is the first game. There's only 60 games. You can't afford this, man.
No, I as far as their hitting goes, their batting lineup,
Yeah.
Dodgers are dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you got two of the best in Bellinger and Betts now on the team, but their pitching staff's old. If I
Yep.
were a Dodgers fan, that's what I would be concerned about is that pitching staff. It's
well,
old.
and speaking of old, who's stepping in for him is Dustin May, 22-year-old, and I think honestly he's a sleeper that is definitely going to
You know, I
show out
wonder if
this
the
season.
Giants, I wonder if LA's thinking that the Giants are just one of those teams that we talked about that may flop this season and they don't need Kershaw. And so it's not worth them putting him out there today.
Right.
You know, I wonder, like, are the Giants a threat to anybody? Could they win this game 90% without him?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they're thinking.
Mm.
I've seen some power rankings that have the Giants either, if they're not at the bottom, they're near the bottom as far as the power rankings go this year. So nobody's really expecting much out of the Giants.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they haven't had any hot headlines.
My cousin, what's up, man? What's up, Chris? Austin Bauer just told us Altuve's out for tomorrow because he slid into home plate. Well, not slid into home plate, but I guess he was running too fast.
Stumbled and then he slid after.
You know what was cool about that,
That's
though, is the
right.
Washington's catcher actually went up and grabbed him and was like, hey, are you all right? Like, make sure he was all right. Which, you know, everybody thought that they threw at tossed at three of the batters. And if you watch the pitches, I don't know if they did or didn't, but they were super nice to us. So I don't know if they beamed us or not. It's tough. It's a tough call.
If we want to go down that route right now, we
No,
can.
no. We got plenty of time.
All
Well, that's
right.
that's gonna happen all season. As
Yeah,
far as
yeah.
having
They
to
ha-
interpret, are they
Unfortunately,
purposely
right.
doing that? Or is
Yeah.
that on accident? I mean, that's
Yeah.
gonna happen all season.
Right. And so moving on to somebody else that's not going to be in for a little bit of time is Juan Soto because he tested positive.
Yep.
Tested positive for coronavirus.
And
Right, Johnny, and alongside him, of course, on the Nationals is Anthony Rendon. I don't know if he is going to be playing yet or not due to.
I mean, they're playing right now.
I don't know if he's in the lineup though because of the.
It's 2-1 right now. Yankees are up, I believe. I'll check that. Guys that are
oblique
watching,
discomfort.
check out that score. But yeah, listen, baseball's back. Like, this is opening day, bro. Like, opening day for
So weird.
baseball.
In
which
July.
it's 3-1 Yankees over Washington for right now.
All right, and lastly, the biggest contract news we've had is Mookie Betts. Yesterday, he signed the 12-year deal for $365 million. So just beating out Garrett Cole this offseason.
Yep.
It
Yep.
was $324 for 9 years.
And
so,
that's why I said it was so weird. Is Mookie Betts worth Garrett Cole money?
I mean, you could ask the
They're
same
two
thing: Is
different-
Garrett Cole worth Mookie Betts' money? I mean, Garrett
Yes,
Cole is
dude.
gonna.
Are you kidding me?
I have no beef on Garrett Cole.
The only
and his
reason Gary
amazingness.
Cole didn't win the Cy Young last year was because Verlander threw the no-hitter. Like, flat out. Like, he had better numbers, better win percentage. Like,
Well, they were literally
neck and
right
neck.
neck.
but Cole had a better strikeout. I mean, look, if Verlander didn't throw that no-hitter, Garrett Cole wins the Cy Young.
I agree.
That
with
was the deciding factor, in my opinion. You know, I'm not saying that, I mean, that they're writers, they're the ones that go over this, they look over the numbers, but yeah, Garrett Cole's worth that much money, like, for sure, especially to the Yankees. Is he worth that much money to the Tigers, the Royals, Twins? No, but to the Yankees, hell yeah.
And a story actually came out about Cole and the Yankees is that he's always been a fan because his dad was. Yeah. So that story came out on ESPN. But if you care more about Garrett Cole and want to hear all of that stuff, you can go read about it. I'm not
Yeah.
going to bore you.
He's
with
not
it.
in Houston anymore, so we
Yeah,
don't
he's
give
not
a
in
damn.
Houston, so
Get on Johnny J's page and go look at the Yankee stuff. So it'll be fine.
but the only thing I'll say is about Betts compared to Cole, what you're talking about. Betts is going to play probably anywhere between 120 to 150 games a year on a regular season. Cole's not going to play that much. He's an every fifth day guy. When he plays, you're going to get an amazing performance out of him. But a guy like Mookie Betts, you're going to get a lot more performance on a regular basis, daily, in a prime position. That's why I think he's worth that money beyond Garrett Cole.
Well, I mean,
and what makes me curious that you say that is because a minute ago you literally said that the Dodgers offense is so amazing and out
Correct.
there.
Yes.
That
Pitching
why
is old.
would they need that type of contract? for
what
Betts?
wins World Series? Pitching.
Well, you can
Playoffs.
say the Astros had probably three of the best pitchers in baseball
We
last year,
should've
and they
won.
didn't win it.
We should have won. AJ Hinch didn't put in Cole.
Well, I was
Speaking
going to
of him.
say in those regards, referring to teams like
Yes.
you said, then why Betts to Dodgers over Cole to Yankees?
I'm not saying Cole's not worth it. I'm just saying he was talking.
If you're
going to
start a franchise, are
between
you
Cole
taking
and
Betts or Cole?
I'm taking Betts.
You're taking Betts.
Yeah.
Really?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm taking
no,
Betts.
Wow.
I'm taking Garrett Cole. I mean, for sure.
You got to have pitching, man.
I agree with
I mean,
you
you
on
got to
pitching.
have
I'm
offense
with you.
too. I mean,
I'm with you on pitching.
Sorry.
I'm with
Sorry
you.
about that. Anyway, so those
Sorry, I
are
got
the
sidetracked.
sizzling hot topics for today presented by Valor Texas. And we got some other guys partnered with us that would not make the show possible without them.
Joe Applewhite, Applewhite Realty. If you're considering a move or know somebody that is, call Joe Applewhite, 713-291-5270. Mention Sports with Balls, and he'll help you pay for your move. I mean, everybody's moving right now. Tough time. Call this guy, 713-291-5270. Residential and commercial, Joe Applewhite Realty.
That's right. And of course, we want to thank our friends at Thiessen Law Firm. Friends, if there's something that I need you to know, and it is to go and do yourself a favor and put their number in your phone. That is
Yes.
713-864-9000. That's a direct line to our friends at Thiessen Law Firm. Whether you're facing a DWI, a divorce, an assault charge, or any other legal curveball to say, their super lawyers are obsessed with winning and have what it takes to protect you and your rights. So give them a call at 713-864-9000. Also follow them on their social handles on social media. That's at Thiessen Law Firm on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah. They're like the Astros of the law industry.
I like that. That's good.
Okay.
All right. Well, then, of course, last but not least, Construction Concepts. You talk about some dudes that do some serious
Love
work,
Josh
man.
and Mark.
They are. I'm surprised they even have time to go do anything because they got projects after project after project. Construction Concept is changing corporate culture one design at a time. For more than 22 years, they have earned a reputation for high-end design and expert building services across multiple industries, from hospitality, corporate, luxury retail, and medical facilities. Their team of experts can update or create a space that exceeds your expectations, no doubt. Give them a call at 713-589-2682 or check them out on buildithouston.com.
Oh, there's that radio voice.
Yeah.
Love it. And of course, lastly, we have to thank our friends at Prime
Oh, I thought that
Texas
was last
Metal
one, yeah.
Roofs. You
I
are
said
all
lastly. I'm
good.
sorry.
You're All good.
You always think that you just get the last word.
I know you're like best for last. My
Yeah, I
name's
mean,
last.
That's normally, you know.
That comes with your. That comes with your. You know, we design the show around what you do at the end.
Okay.
So you
All
know
right.
you do get the last
That's
word.
good. I appreciate
You
it.
get the last
I
laugh.
interrupted you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Not this time, Grant. Not this time. But anyways, wouldn't be possible also without Prime Texas Metal Roofs, whether it's residential, commercial, you can count on Prime Texas Metal Roofs for any and all of your roofing needs. So metal, you know, any other type of roofing need. Call them today for a free no obligation estimate at 832-755-1440. That is 832-755-1440. And that's Prime Texas Metal Roofs.
Bam. What's up? Who's gonna win the World Series?
Boom, boom.
Man, you started off just like that.
I know.
Oh, wow.
Listen.
We're getting right into it.
I mean, look, like it's baseball season. I'm super excited. It's on. Like, there's a bunch of things that are changing though, right? Like a ton, like because we are at a shortened season because of what's going on. There's been rule changes.
Yes.
Right, Lauren, what we got on the rule changes? Or which one? Who's got the rule changes?
Well, I know you've got them right there in front of you. I know one of the ones I'm excited the most about is the universal DH.
You are? Okay.
I'm excited to have pitchers not hitting. I like that.
I hate that.
And I'm not shocked because of what we talked about earlier in relation
Have
to
you seen
umpires.
JV hit?
I hate that. Well, no, I love
Because you're a
the-
baseball purist.
Yes.
And you want to see baseball in its pure form.
You want to play in the American League, play in the American League. You want to play in the National League, play in the National League. You know what you're getting into. If you're a pitcher, you learn how to hit. I mean, or don't learn how to hit. It's strategy.
Focus on your craft.
Yeah, I mean, it's strategy. It's what it brings in coaching. Otherwise, a lot of people give the managers for baseball a lot of discredit because they don't do enough. Like they're just sitting in the dugout, not doing anything. When you have something like that come up towards the end of ball games and it's a 3-2 game, you're switching out pitchers, hitters. You know, you got to you have an infielder playing outfield. You've got all kinds of that's part of the game. And if you just have a DH all the time, well, then you don't really have that problem, and it takes away from the strategy of being in the National League, and that bothers me. I wish it would have stayed, but you know, it is what it is. I'm not the
I try to think back to when the Astros were in the National League because it feels like it was so long ago now.
It does feel like a while ago.
I can't remember the name. But yeah, so you're excited
Yes.
about that.
I am because I feel like I don't want to watch Clayton Kershaw bat. I just don't. Hey, Clayton Kershaw's a Dallas boy. I had to throw that in there. So I would love to see him in all aspects as far as doing everything he does, but I don't want to see Clayton Kershaw bat. I don't want to see Garrett Cole bat. I don't want to see any pitcher bat because it's basically, for the most part, it's basically an out. When a pitcher comes up, we all
Learn how
think
to
that's
bunt,
an out.
move the player over, and that leads into the second rule. Like, listen, bunting is not that hard. I understand what you're saying because it does get frustrating, but some pitchers, there's been so many pitchers that have hit like unbelievable home runs that you would just have no clue they would have. What's his name last year? The big dude, what's his name? He hit a home run off the Mets, or he plays for the Mets. I'm sorry.
talking about,
Bartolo Colon.
Was it?
When he hit that home run,
Yeah.
it was unbelievable.
But it was like a big deal because everybody's like, oh my gosh, this never happened.
Yeah.
So
Phenomenal.
But see, baseball has you, Jeff. No matter what the rules are in baseball, you're watching. They got you. They need to attract more people to baseball. And what's exciting? Home runs, hits, runs. Like, that's exciting. That's why they do it.
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, if they're not as skilled and they haven't done it for a long time, then you're not going to see all of those home runs and the outcomes that you're wanting. The excitement is, as you say.
Well, that's what he's saying. His argument is that he does want the more of the offense. I want more of the.
Well, no, I'm saying if the pitcher has the opportunity to hit, and he's saying he wants it to be more exciting for home runs, RBIs, et
it just
cetera,
brings in
et cetera.
strategy and coaching way more. Like National League, it's harder to be a coach than it is in the American League because you do have that, But now you throw that out the window. So everybody's got a DH.
Well, I'm just saying that the pitcher is most likely
Would Big
not going to.
Big Papi ever be this famous or even be that good of a baseball player if he had to play in the outfield or in the infield?
Well, I mean, he did every now
Aside
and
from
then.
like first base.
But that's what I'm saying.
But he moved to a DH and then,
But you're almost making my point for me, though. You don't have Big Papi unless you have DH. And aren't you glad that we had Big Papi? Aren't you glad that we have him playing?
Listen, I love both the leagues. I like the way it's set up. That's why it's called interleague play. And the rules and the big change with interleague play is the no pitcher.
Yes.
Or pitcher hitting, a pitcher not hitting. If you're playing in American League Park, your pitcher doesn't have to hit. Playing in National League Park, your pitcher hits. It's part of the strategy. But now, listen, because of the shortened season, I'm okay with the rule now because it's only 60 games, and the teams we're playing basically teams that are close to you. You're not traveling across the country to go do all this other stuff, So for this shortened 60-game season, it's sort of like a test, and it's okay for now. Will they do it next year? I have no idea.
Yeah, sorry.
So some of the other rules is the guy on second base in extra innings, and that's really interesting.
I can't stand this rule. I cannot believe you just put a man on second and say go.
I think this goes exactly back to what
I'd
you just said, making
this goes
it more
against
exciting.
this goes against baseball. So Jeff I can already tell you before he answers the question if he's going to like it or not.
Well, yeah.
If it goes anything against the old school rules of baseball, Jeff's not a fan of it.
Right.
This is a little bit more interesting because it does bring in more coaching. Your pitching staff. Who do you save if it's tied up? I understand they're trying things because of the shortened season. So I get it. I get it. You want to try some stuff. Totally understandable. But, man, leave that alone. You just can't put a man on base. I mean, that's like –
Well, it's for the first half inning after ninth. I feel like maybe once it gets to the 12th inning, the 13th inning, that's whenever you start doing this.
Great point. Do it then. Let it go 2 or 3 innings and see if somebody can do that because the whole – what happened to stolen bases, right? What happened to pickoffs and pickoff moves and that? Now none of that's in play now. Just put a man on second, pitch to the guy at the plate, and go. And that's annoying.
Well, and again, I'm more of the excitement. I love baseball. I always have, always will. They need to get more fans. This gets more fans. They do not have the fandom that they used to have. I was going to say before we started the show, we're talking about America's pastime today in America's barbershop. And it's not America's pastime anymore.
Brock would love to hear you say that. I'm sure he does.
Brock heard it.
But it's not though. Baseball's not that anymore. Yeah. They need to attract people.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They
what
need
is
to attract
football?
fans.
Yes, actually.
We just said they're called the Washington team.
That is one team.
Well.
That is one team. If you look at all the eyes, though, the NFL has everyone's eyes.
I understand money-wise. Football's the ultimate when it comes financially. Football is the biggest sport basically in the world when it comes to money. But I mean,
fans.
I
don't know about in the world because then you have soccer. But
I'm just talking about money-wise. Dallas Cowboys, the most expensive franchise over every soccer team in the world. I mean, what I'm saying is football does run the nation. Now you bring in fantasy football, all that stuff.
Right.
I mean, geez, it's unbelievable. But baseball, I used to go to the games when I was a kid. I'll do X's and O's. I'll write down I'll do the whole sheet in front of me.
Right.
Me and my good friend Belay used to go to the games when we were babies at the Astro game. We were 16 years old sneaking in there and going to Astros games and
at the Astrodome.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. We were drinking Dome foam. Oh, it's the Astrodome. It's yeah, you can sneak in anywhere. You could probably go in there right now if you wanted to.
Yeah, back then, yeah.
And there one.
But again, Jeff is that's his deal. He wants it to be the way it's always been as far as the rules go.
No, I'm okay with change. I'm all right with change, but putting a man on second.
I was gonna say, what would be a rule that you would be okay with?
Yeah, what's changed recently that you've been okay with?
We raised the pitch amount. That's fine.
But that was 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in baseball terms, that's recent. Right?
How did you feel about the netting whenever that came out, the extended netting at the ballpark?
Listen, player or fan safety. I was at a game 3 or 4 years ago. The Royals. I forgot what game it was. Game 3 or 4. We were playing the Royals, and down in front of me, a little kid got hit. And they rushed. I mean, the dad just immediately grabbed the kid, ran up the stairs. And the whole stadium's silent.
Oh yeah.
I reported on that.
I was just like,
yes.
And you weren't comfortable. And everybody's checking their phone to wait and see what happens to this kid. So, listen, the netting is not that big of a deal. So you can see through it. I've been to plenty of games, and it's actually for safety reasons. I don't have a problem with it.
I think it's more comfortable when you're at the park. I mean, you're not, your head's not on a swivel like you would normally if you're sitting down there, but. Beyond the game, in-game, the management, the play, any rule change that you've been okay with were you okay with them playing interleague?
Yes, I was fine with that because it brings in a
Okay,
different coaching.
I'm surprised by that.
And it brought in the Dallas Houston rivalry again because
Yeah.
now we're in the American League, so it's fine. But every time the Astros played the Rangers, it was an interleague game,
Right.
and that was fun. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was fun to go to. And you got the Chicago. Those interleague games. The players look forward to those.
Mm-hmm.
They're really big fans of going and playing those games, and that's why they're called interleague games. They're interesting. They're more entertaining, and baseball is going to stay the way it is. And those guys they're smart in what they do, and you have the purists that keep the game pretty simple.
Yeah.
And I love baseball. I love going to the games. I love the sound of the bat. And speaking of that, it's just now the sound is different, man.
Speaking of that, but the biggest change too was what literally the news just broke about 16 teams
Yes.
playing in the offseason. I mean, in the postseason. So,
Correct.
versus 10. And
That's huge.
That is huge.
There's 30 baseball teams. More than half of them are going to the playoffs.
Correct.
And we talked about this before.
Okay.
Will you explain to them the breakdown of how this is going to work?
So here's
Well, hold on. So
Okay.
first of all, generally speaking, normal baseball season, 10 teams, 5 from each league, 5 American, and then 5 national.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get a wild card, and then you have 4 and 4. So
Correct.
they explain to them what's happening now.
So now, like you say, you get division winners, 2 wild card in each league, National and American. Now, so these are just some highlights of it. All first-round games will be a part of best-of-3 series. So basically, that first round of playoff games, which will be the lower seeds, they will play a 3-game series, and they'll all be played at the home stadium of the team with the higher seed.
Right.
So no travel.
Okay, so that brings up the whole point of this home field advantage. Does it mean anything this season? And did it mean anything in the World Series last year? No,
Well, no,
because
it
the
didn't mean
Astros
anything
couldn't win at
last year.
home, and the Nationals couldn't win at home.
Yeah, well, that's never happened before, so that was awkward.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Just because
And
you're not
there's
going to
no
have
cl-
crowd,
well,
you're not
that's-
going to have any of
Well,
those
that's my point.
intangibles.
Where is home field advantage this year actually home field advantage?
That's
Not
what I'm
really.
saying.
Not really.
No fans.
No, and especially if you have this scenario where you play all 3 games at home, you don't have to worry about travel. So even for the road team, that's going to be okay because you don't have to worry about going back home. You're just playing all the games.
You know what
in
it's
going to
be? Oh, pitching matchups.
Yes.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Not hitter matchups.
Yeah, but Garrett Cole would pitch in one of those games, not all 3 of them.
But in a 3-game series, Garrett Cole pitches one, and then maybe the second. I mean, that's over.
we could talk about this for a long time. The next one, okay, so yes, and they play at the home seed, high seed, eliminating the need for a travel day. The league, and of course the money part of it, which is why we got to this part.
Yeah.
The league and the MLBPA agreed on a $50 million postseason bonus pool for players. They previously had negotiated 25.
That's
got
a
to-
house for every player.
They got to 50.
like
So,
one,
Yes.
just a nice little $250,000 house for
Correct.
every player.
Yeah, we're going to play. Yeah.
Yeah, just for their aunts, uncles, whatever. People that pissed them off. That here you go.
All 8 second-place teams in every division will qualify for the 16-team playoff format. The 7th and 8th teams will be chosen by the best record among the other teams. Teams will be seeded 1 through 8 based on the 2020 season record.
I'm wondering if 1 plays 8, because that's kind of unfair.
I don't think so. I think I haven't looked into it because
all
this just came
happened.
out.
Yeah,
this just
just
came
so
out.
y'all know, this all just came out right before we came on air.
I would
So-
think in this format, the top seeds would have a bye.
Yeah, you
in
get a
some
bye. That's
way.
what I'm saying. Like, I don't think that 8 would play 1. That's just ridiculous.
No.
That'd be stupid.
No, I think you're going to have a. I don't know if it'd be both of the first seeds or first and second would have a bye. I don't know. I haven't. Like I said, they
Speaking of
haven't
number
broken it
1,
down.
who you got?
Man, you coming straight to me.
Yes. Who do you have winning the World Series this year?
Based on my team, I've got right now is the LA Dodgers.
Dodgers.
Okay.
Yes.
God, what an ass.
I'm going Dodgers. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna
I
piss off.
can't disagree.
I'm gonna piss off even more when I
Damn.
tell you it's gonna be the Dodgers and the Yankees in the World Series.
By the way, Houston's up 1.
Are you
listen,
in like MLB Network right now? Because that's all.
Well,
the
Houston's
game's
up
showing.
1-0 right now on the LA Galaxy. So there you go. Thank you, Gus. Appreciate you. He lives in LA. Went to high school with him. Great guy.
Oh, so
you
it's
have
from here.
you have the Dodgers.
Yes.
Lauren, Well, that's a dumb question. If you say anything else, probably.
Yeah. I'm the one here breaking up the Houston Astros baseball preview.
Well, you're not from Houston. You're
I
from,
know, but that's what I'm saying. We
you're
got
from the
we got to get a little
you're
bit
from 45 North. I don't even want to say it.
of we got to get a little bit of
Is there a throw up button?
reasonable.
I'll do it.
You know, we got to get some reason in this conversation besides just Astros.
Sign Dak Prescott.
Well,
to the
no, I
Rangers.
mean, I'm open to hearing everything you have to say. I'm just going to go for my
You're just
home
gonna shake
team,
your
and
head
I'm
and
also
roll your
going
eyes.
to
right?
Huh?
You're just gonna shake your head and roll your eyes when I say
maybe,
something.
maybe not. I don't know.
I've seen you do it a little bit, especially Jeff. Jeff eye rolls a lot.
I do.
He
no,
does?
no,
Or
no.
I do towards
eye,
him.
not really eye roll as much as just kind of like.
Well,
oh,
you say
brother.
L.A. I'm like, we just had this discussion earlier. Kershaw's out tonight. Now, whether that's just precautionary or whatever, but it's a 60-game season, and we've mentioned anything can happen in a 60-game season.
Literally, you
absolutely.
get hot. Who? My question is, who is going to hit a 400? Because
See,
it's
and
so
if you
short.
do, and if
that
you do,
can
does
do
that count? You know, remember Bagwell
It all
when they had the shortened season. Bagwell was hitting like 367 and had like 32 home runs like before the All-Star break. I
Yeah.
mean, it was one of the best seasons he's ever had. And then they canceled baseball
Speaking of
because they had
All-Star
the player
break,
strike.
I was going to say, speaking of All-Star break and retired players, a Hall of Fame would be canceled, obviously, this year, and it would have been one of the biggest ones because of Derek Jeter.
No, like without a doubt, if you hit 400 this year, there's an asterisk. I don't care. I know there's no asterisk, but there would be. I mean, in a 60-game season, that's 122 games less than you usually would play.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen. If you go 5-10, I mean, that's like 20% of the season, and you're like, okay, out. But if you stay hot, continue hot,
The
and then
Astros
go in
have
post.
their starting pitchers are Verlander, Greinke, and from what we've seen so far of McCullers, a really healthy and really good movement on his pitches, McCullers.
Right.
I give them top. They're going to the final. They're going to be in the World Series. I don't see why they wouldn't.
Someone literally just said, who has a better season, Cole or McCullers? And that's Rick.
Yeah, Rick. Wow.
You talking about Garrett Cole?
Cole
McCullers?
has the numbers behind him for sure.
Well, based on what we were talking about earlier, I thought your immediate response would be Cole.
I mean, I would say Cole. I really would, and I hate to say that. It's just McCullers is coming back from injury, right?
That, and I'd say Cole just because
Cole
of
is
experience.
Cole's a Cy Young. It should be a Cy Young winner. You know, McCullers, is he Cy Young winner worthy? I don't know yet.
yeah, he has to prove it. Yeah.
So I would say, Rick, to your point, I would say Cole. Now, the way the schedule
Someone
sets up,
just said McCullers.
McCullers.
They're an Astros fan.
But if the way
You
the
gotta take that out of
schedule,
it.
the way the
Yes.
schedule sets up favors the Astros. The Astros have a pretty easy schedule.
You know who has a hard schedule? The Angels.
The Angels are. I don't see them doing much. I mean,
The AL West schedule is, for the Astros at least, is not going to be that difficult. And this is
That's what I'm
coming from
saying.
somebody that's a Texas Ranger fan.
yeah.
So, I mean, you know, they've got a pretty good route. I mean, the only team that the Astros really have to worry about in division would probably be the Oakland Athletics.
Yes.
I think the Oakland Athletics will be a lot better than people
They're really
are
good.
thinking. Go ahead.
I was
no.
going to say, so the past 2 seasons, they won 97 straight games.
Correct.
So, they're right up behind the Astros, if anything
Yeah, I mean
happens.
the only problem is the Astros won over 100. So I
Yeah.
mean, like that is the issue. So it's like, look, the Oakland, they're going to get into the playoffs, I believe.
I think so.
You know.
well,
I think
now that
so.
we know they're 16.
Yeah, I mean, look,
So-
we were talking about this before. If there's 16 teams, over half the teams are getting in. Are teams going to tank? I think they will. If some star player gets hurt, some star player gets something, I think they're going to start tanking.
It's
Like,
about
on
health
purpose.
this season. If someone
Yeah.
tests positive, dude, and if you get injured, I mean, how many games like that's affects you?
Yeah, if you
The
get injured-
shortness of games.
Correa gets injured every year. If he gets injured this year, 60-game stint, like usually, 60-day, you're done. That's it. See you
Right.
later. Over.
Well, I mean, you could say the same thing about the Yankees. I mean, you got 2 guys that have pretty consistently, seems like every season,
Stanton and Judge.
had some kind of injury problem. You're hoping that because they've had, I'm talking not just them specifically, because I mean, I hope everybody understands. I wish nothing but the Yankees to like lose every game. So I'm not saying this because I want the Yankees to do well. I'm just saying.
Johnny.
I'm just saying. I'm being realistic here. But
Those who don't know, Johnny's a Yankees fan.
those guys don't typically play a full season. Now they've had a lot of time to rest. Not only have you had the off season, but you've had this extended
Spring season, summer
spring,
season,
whatever you want to call it.
COVID
So
season.
They should be coming in healthy, which is why I put them up there. You get Stanton and Judge, Garrett Cole in the starting rotation. Man, they're going to be tough to beat.
See, that's what I'm curious. So, to see opening day tonight, tomorrow for the Astros and all the other teams to unfold this weekend is like, we haven't seen a lot of like in spring training, and we would have seen so many, like a month plus games. We've only seen like 2 or 3 games per team, maybe.
And that's why I was talking about McCullers. You just haven't seen enough of him to know. I mean, look, are all these pitchers going to have that blow-up game? Yep. McCullers is going to go out there second or third game. He's going to give up 4 or 5 runs in 2 or 3 innings, and you're going to look and go, oh, damn it. But, it's Brent Strom, pitching coach, and what I think in Dusty Baker, he brings a really, really calmness to the team where you're not overreacting and you're not flipping out. And listen, Dusty Baker has been in every serious situation in Major League Baseball. Like he has. Like
From
he's
the
been
Cubs
around for
we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, he was a manager during the Bartman thing. He apparently created the high five, which is very interesting.
You brought that up that one time.
Yeah.
So, I think he brings it. The players like him. They're allowing him to do what he does. So, I'm okay with Dusty Baker being the calmness. Look, the players know what they have to do. The Astros lineup 1 through 7 or 8 is incredible, especially if we get Alvarez back anytime soon. Now, we don't know anything about that, so we'll figure that out when it comes. But right now, the lineup's incredible. You got Carlos Correa hitting 6 or 7.
I mean, yeah, speaking of that, and I think so going from Dusty Baker and I think being more lax with the players, but very good with their personalities, just like Hinch was. The players have a lot to prove this season, not only because coming off of the scandal and everything like that, 60-game series, and then also, boom, we have a lot of guys who are going into free agency next year. This is their last year.
Well, Springer and Maldonado are the two. Those are the big ones. I mean, I'm sorry,
And then
Brantley.
we got Gurriel.
No, Springer and Brantley are the 2 major ones going into the offseason that you're going to have to sign.
Mm-hmm.
Springer will be signed before this season's over.
Then we got Gurriel. Then we got Josh Reddick.
Yuli's replaceable. Reddick's going to be. Look, you could do a package deal for Reddick and Gurriel and get a killer player.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and Reddick did good this last game
As
on
long
Tuesday.
as we had the core 4, right? Altuve, Springer, Correa,
Springer. Now you sound like the Yankee.
Yeah, right? If you have Altuve, Springer, Correa, and Bregman, you're set, right? Then you add in Alvarez, and, wow. You have a super team almost.
I know Alvarez is definitely it's a pleasure to have him.
Yeah, that's just a bonus.
It's a yeah.
People are going to realize real quick, and of course we're going to get the cheating. Listen, we went to the World Series last year and 6 outs away from winning. There were no banging on trash cans in 2019. I'm sorry. Like, there was none of that, right?
No.
There was no cheating. They even found in the report nothing, and we were in the World Series 6 outs from winning again. So don't tell me that in 2017 was a fluke. We've been there. Like 2018, we were injured, and we almost got there. Boston had an incredible team.
Mm-hmm.
They beat us, no problem. 2019, 6 outs away. A.J. Hinch should have put in Cole. Maybe it would have been a different story.
And I think that Greinke should have stayed in.
Look, Will Harris threw an incredible pitch, and he just got golfed. That was that World Series was so awkward.
Mm-hmm.
It was so awkward. But
Well, it was like a 1/3 chance of hitting it, and he did.
he just golfed it. Will Harris was lights out that year, right? But we've traded Will Harris. Let him go. He's gone. And then Joe Smith now says that he's not reporting because family issues and nervous about COVID. So our middle relief between 7 and 8 innings is the question mark.
Right. Because we have Osuna closing. We have, I don't know if is Abreu going to be some relief, some help with Presley.
Yeah, you still have Presley there. I mean, we've got a good Joe Smith was really coming about.
I know.
I mean, are you allowed to change your mind once you once you decommit? Like, can you say, "All right, I'm coming back in"? Because that would be great. I mean, it's terrible that that Joe Smith's not going to be there. But if I'm going with teams that are going to be there in the end, I'm going with the Astros. I really am. They've been there every year since 2017, and I don't see our lineup hasn't changed.
That's what I'm saying.
No, it's the same.
Gotta
It's
keep
basically
it
the same
strong.
team. I mean, you've got. I was looking on FanGraph just to see what they have. They have the starting rotation as as Verlander, McCullers, Greinke, James, and Valdez.
Yeah, I don't know why they have Greinke at 2. I mean, I'm sorry, at 3. I don't know if that's a Dusty Baker thing or they just have a misprint, because somebody brought that up on Sports with Balls on Facebook, as Greinke would be a number 3 pitcher, which is awkward because when you're facing a team, maybe it's because of 60 games, because it's a short series, right? So we play Seattle and then we have LA for 2 games. Because if you put Verlander out there and then the next day throw Greinke out there, those are 2 complete opposite pitchers,
Right.
and that you want that kind of mix up. So I'm curious to know why McCullers is right now penciled in at number 2.
Maybe that's just maybe
Maybe the
Baker
schedule
knows
lines
something,
up.
or
Yeah.
maybe Baker knows something about McCullers and where he's at.
Maybe the schedule
more than we
lines
do.
up where like Greinke will start some series, and then right after Greinke you have Verlander coming in. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and it's not a right left thing because I mean you've got 4 right-handed pitchers and a lefty, so you don't
That's
have anything.
another big issue for us.
Who's starting for your Rangers?
Mike Minor's going to be the
Who's
I
a
guess what
good
you would
pitcher?
consider the number 1. Hey, look, this is what I saw about last year.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
So
Rangers fans, pay attention.
One of the biggest things, well, and I think this is something that stuck out to me. One of the biggest things as far as when you're talking about the analytics and the metrics, they count on WAR, wins against replacement. So they have a top 10. There were 3 teams last year that had 2 pitchers from their staff in the top 10 in WAR. One of them was from the Astros, Cole and Verlander.
Mhm.
Another one was from the Nationals. The other one was from the Rangers, Minor and Lance Lynn.
Yep.
Lance Lynn and Minor are 2 really solid pitchers. Played really great last year. Then they traded this year and got Kluber. Now, if you look in past seasons with Kluber and the Cleveland
that's
Indians,
an if.
it's the same thing as McCullers, though. I mean, Kluber's coming off injury. I would say Kluber's a lot better.
When he was with Cleveland, he was definitely look, he's got playoff experience, he's got intensity.
He's got World Series experience.
Yeah, he's intense, and maybe he brings a little bit of veteran leadership to that Rangers pitching staff. You know, because pitchers and hitters are completely different in locker rooms. They really don't talk to each other that much. Pitchers are out in the outfield, hitters are in the dugout.
Oh, they're different animals. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's just
That's for
2
sure.
different types of people. And if you can have somebody like Kluber say, you know, you need that energy. Like Verlander, dude, like that guy says go out there and do it. Like Greinke, right? He's got social anxiety. Like he can't talk real
Right,
in
right,
interviews and
right.
stuff like that. But you got somebody like Verlander just patting him on the back. Look, you got this, bro. Go out there, bam, bam, bam. You got it. Kluber may be able to bring that to what I think is a pretty good 1-2 punch in Texas.
Well, their top 3 pitching staff is Lance Lynn, Mike Minor, and Corey Kluber. Those are 3 solid pitchers.
I was gonna say who.
Put them up against anybody. That's a 3. That's
Yeah.
a solid first 3. Not
Well,
saying the greatest, but it's a solid 3.
Aside from the Yankees, Astros, Dodgers, Nationals, I mean, look, nobody's better than Kershaw, Cole, Verlander. You know, you're not gonna like. They're not up there, but
Would you say Scherzer?
Yeah. I mean, like, Texas the Rangers need a big trade.
I was gonna say who was it from the Astros that went to the Rangers before last
That's
season?
Chirinos.
Chirinos. Robinson
yes.
Chirinos. That's
So
right.
Robinson Chirinos was with the Rangers.
That's
He
what I
went to
was
the
gonna
Astros, and then he came back. So he's going to be their starting catcher. The problem is they're everyday people. They're old up the top. Chu is 38 years. Is that right? Yeah, 38 years old. Chu was great.
He's a
5
scary
years
hitter.
ago. Well, he gets on base, and that's of course what you want. Is you want somebody to get on base. After
He's like
that,
an Ichiro, but with power.
correct. After that, you've got Willie Calhoun, he's not going to – I mean, he's a good, solid player, too. They got on the Darvish trade. And then a bunch of guys that – other than Joey Gallo, who's a masher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joey Gallo's either going to strike out or he's going to hit it 500 feet.
Yeah, home run derby guy.
Yeah, I mean, that dude crushes it. So they picked up Todd Frazier. He's going to play first base. That would have been great like 4 years ago, but Todd Frazier's not what he used to be. Elvis Andrews is going to be your shortstop. He's been there a long time. So I think the Rangers will be competitive. I think they will.
They could win a series.
They
I
will
could see them
surprise
winning
some
a
people.
series.
They will
think they won
surprise some people.
78 last year.
Rangers.
They will. I'm sitting here talking about your Yankees and propping you up, and this is what he does to me. I'm the only one up here right now supporting your team, and you're doing that. So
I'm sorry,
you can
dude.
take
we
that
gave
button.
you. We gave you a good 5 minutes with the Rangers.
We did. Now someone else that's in the AL West going back to Astros.
No, that's
sorry.
fine. No, that's fine.
The Mariners. It's been 18 years since they've seen a postseason.
It'll be 19.
Yeah, it'll be 19 for sure.
Those cats are
Look,
not going to be good.
That's one of the teams that I'm talking about. They are just going to tank. I mean, look, the owners. Look, if you don't have, because of the COVID, and if you don't have fans in the seats, which they didn't in general anyways, they're sure as hell not going to try to put something together this year.
No.
To try to put if. They're not going to try to put fans in the seats. There's no such thing. So they're going to cut their losses, cheap payroll. They're going to lose every damn game they can. Look, the guys that are out there are probably still going to play hard, and they might win a few here and there. But no, that's not one of the teams sneaking up. Like you were saying, Tampa Bay. That's a sneaky team.
Tampa. If I were the Yankees, I would be concerned about Tampa.
Yes.
Just because
I have them projected.
Tampa has. They don't have one or two solid pitchers. They've got like
5 or 6, man.
They've got a bunch of them,
Mm-hmm.
and they are going to. They're going to pitch. They're great, and all their pitching metrics, they're top.
Well,
it's
yeah,
their
because
hitting
they
metrics
do
that they're
pitching
low.
by committee. They only have one starting pitcher. I forgot his name, but every other game is pitching by committee.
Correct.
In a short season like this, when you're playing 2-game series here, you're doing short travel. These guys on short rest. Pitching by committee is where it's at, right?
Yes.
Usually, Verlander, Cole, Kershaw, Greinke, these guys, they get 4 days rest, 5 days rest sometimes because they're traveling. You're going 3 or 4 game series. This is short. This is compact.
Yes.
This is bam, bam, bam. And we have pitching by committee that might work in your favor.
And that's why I say if you get hot, you can stay hot.
Yep.
And it can that's
Going
why I say
into the postseason, it's all about timing.
that momentum and
Look, you could be at the bottom, not bottom of the barrel, but midway. And if you get hot right at season's end, and you can maintain that, then you're good.
Which is what happened to Washington.
Well, I mean, look, Washington was like 16-32 last year, right? From that point on, they played the exact same baseball as the Astros. Dead on, same record.
I know they really came up.
It was unbelievable, the turnaround that they did. I don't know what did it. Like I think they have an ESPN on it, but they just completely – they were 16-32 and played the exact same baseball, same record, 52 games, something like that. Same exact record the Astros did.
Going back to your Rangers, Grant, Wiley Bell said Rangers need to get John Daniels out of there. He has no idea how to scout talent.
I 100% agree with you and what you said.
Wiley's a good dude.
Wow.
I've said for a long time, John Daniels has lived off of back-to-back World Series, which was great. That was awesome. It was some of the best times of my life, other than Nelson
Did
Cruz.
y'all win?
Nelson Cruz not. Yeah, that's a funny guy. Nelson Cruz not knowing how to catch a fly ball, but
Look, he just took a bad route.
they haven't. You're in the World Series, dude. You're at the bottom of the ninth
mean,
inning.
so were
You're
we,
a
and
starting player.
Go
You
Google
should-
Nelson Cruz
Good God.
World Series.
Nelson Cruz. What are you doing?
Sorry.
Well, what's wrong with Washington
Sorry.
doing getting him in the game anyway?
Yeah.
Anyway, but yes, John Daniels is living off 2011 and 2010. He needs to go.
Greg
Speaking of games-
Monteverdi. Who wins the silver boot this year?
The Astros.
Yeah, dude. I agree. That's a
I was like, speaking of games, yeah, you had some earlier, right? You played earlier.
golf.
Golf.
Is that why I'm B-red? Yeah.
How'd that go?
Sometimes it sucks having I have a lot of Native American, a lot of Indian in me, like Choctaw. I think from
You do?
from Tennessee, from I'm 1/4, and so I get beat red in the sun. I mean, it tans out. I don't feel people are like, oh my god, dude, you need to go to the hospital.
thought, Indian was,
I'm
like,
no,
olive
I
skin.
just get really, really, really red, and then it is
Because I
what it is.
thought Indian was olive skin to where you get a little. Anyways, side comment.
Thank you for pointing out how red and unattractive I am on this show. We are on air. Thank you,
I did
Laura.
not. I did not say.
Golly.
You never said
Co-host
red, unattractive, anything
Lauren.
like that. I was just trying
This
to
is
bring
fun.
up your
Y'all
golf
keep going.
game.
Y'all keep going. I'll watch.
See?
Wow. So,
Well, Lauren hasn't given us. Obviously, she's saying Astros. Obviously,
Yeah.
Who's your National League team?
what you got?
Who's your National League team?
My National League team.
Oh, she has it all broken down.
I do.
Nice.
I do. I was kind of going.
Go through it real quick. There it is. Go through it.
Okay. So I agree with some of these projections that were made. For the East, the Braves,
Nice.
then the Nationals.
Braves above the Nationals. All right.
Which is kind of shocking, but since obviously the Nationals won last year, Mets, Phillies, Marlins, and then Central is Cubs, Reds, Cardinals, Brewers, West, Dodgers, Diamondbacks.
Damn, you got Milwaukee at the
Padres.
bottom of that division? Wow. All right.
That's almost how Vegas has it.
Really?
Padres, Rookies, Giants. So
Your NL
who is
champ.
winning? Who is winning?
The NL.
I hate to see the Dodgers. I hate it.
Yeah.
Oh, brother.
Dodgers and Braves. I'm gonna have to go with Dodgers.
Okay. And
There
then
you go.
your
I'm gonna have to go Dodgers.
so your backup would be Braves? Dodgers Braves right there?
Yes.
Huh.
How about you? How do you feel about that?
Grant go.
What's that?
You go.
What do you mean? I just went a while ago. That's why. That's why
What do you-
everybody
You
was
didn't
yelling
say-
at
What do
me.
you think,
You
like-
said no, you didn't say your national team.
Yeah, that's
You
the
said
Dodgers.
Dodgers.
Oh, you said Dodgers.
Yeah.
Okay, and then American?
Yeah, you just.
Yankees.
Oh, you didn't say that.
That's right.
You
Yeah,
did-
Yankees.
All right. So you think LA New York, which is a dream matchup
Yes.
for
That's what
MLB.
everybody wants.
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
everybody
East
wants
Coast, West Coast. Of
With the
course.
Dodgers winning it.
Damn.
Is that who you want between the two?
I don't want any of those teams to win. I want the Rangers to win.
I know,
I'm
but if
just
you had to
saying-
favor one or the other,
yeah, I would go with Dodgers just because Clayton Kershaw's a Dallas boy.
But listen. Okay, so they finally are going to do it.
See, you
They're
did
like
it.
the brand.
You did it.
Roll,
I did
roll
it.
your
Yes,
eyes.
Yes,
I
you
did
did.
it.
Yes, you did. I saw it.
Busted.
I saw it. You did it.
Nice.
Yes.
Listen, like the Dodgers are like the Atlanta Braves in the '90s, right? Incredible pitching staff, these incredible hitters that win MVPs, Chipper Jones back. I mean, like,
Great
and they only
offense.
won one championship. The Dodgers are there every year and just can't pull it out.
can't do it.
I don't know why, but there's no talk of a curse like the Cubs or the Red Sox or anything like that. But I see him. I see him falling again because I think other teams are catching up to them. Minnesota Twins being the number one.
Oh yeah.
I think
There's
the
a lot of talk
Twins
about
and the
Twins.
Astros will be in the World Series.
What? The Twins and the Astros?
I would like that.
Okay. The Twins and the okay. Are you the Twins?
Yeah.
Is that what you're
Minnesota.
saying? The
Dude,
Minnesota Twins.
I'm telling you right now, the Minnesota Twins are
They're
legit.
kind of dangerous.
Like, I mean, they are really, really good. They are a team. They're put together. By the way, the Yankees are up 4-1, top of the sixth with one out.
But I'm blowing up your prediction here because the Twins and the Astros are both in the American
Sorry,
League.
ALCS. My bad.
Okay, all right.
Sorry.
I thought
Sorry,
that's why I had to stop. I was like,
sorry.
I'm blowing up. Okay,
Sorry. I meant ALCS.
I like that. I like
the
that.
Twins and the Astros will be in the ALCS.
I like that. Okay,
And then,
Twins are going to be legit, no doubt.
dude, they are going to be, I mean, dude, they're good. They are really, really good. And now I'm going to blow you up on the National League, which is really going to surprise you.
Okay.
Milwaukee Brewers
Wow.
will
You a
be.
minute ago said like, oh, you got
the,
him
the
last.
Milwaukee Brewers will be in the NLCS.
Interesting.
Okay.
Now I don't know if they're going to win it, but they will be there.
Interesting.
Or Pittsburgh Pirates.
Wow, you're really
Whoa.
Pittsburgh's dope.
reaching. You're really reaching.
Pittsburgh is amazing. They're like Pittsburgh reminds me of like they remind me of the Pittsburgh Steelers from football. Like really, really good, just young, underappreciated in a short season like this. And me and you have talked about this numerous times. Anything can happen.
Mhm.
Like anything.
Anything can
But
happen.
people get hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, if Kershaw gets COVID, like, late into the season, you're screwed.
Oh, for sure.
Pittsburgh's I like gritty teams in a 60 game span.
Yeah.
I like really gritty teams. Minnesota being one, Pittsburgh being one. The Astros are super, super gritty, and they have a chip on their shoulders. I think World Series champion, and this is not just me being biased, but the World Series champs will be the Astros. They've been there, and they have a massive, massive chip on their shoulder. Something to prove to everybody.
They're motivated, no doubt.
And there's no fans.
They're motivated, no doubt.
Like,
that helps a tremendous
dude,
amount.
I'm not even gonna lie. Like, can you imagine them going to every ballpark
That helps a tremendous amount.
with all the fans? They would
That's
be
very true.
hammered. Like, it would eventually get on your nerves.
Well, I was going to say, speaking of hammered, you don't think that all those on Tuesday's game with Springer, Altuve, and Bregman being hit, you don't think that was prompted?
So I watched this over and over and over. All right, he hit Altuve in a high fastball. It was tight. It was right after that. Bregman came up. Now that pitch it looked intentional, and then he went down and grabbed the dirt, acting like, oh, I didn't mean to do it. But it was a 1-2 count, so that's why I say it's intentional. You know, he already had 2 strikes on him. It was a 1-2 count, so he had a ball to waste, basically, right? The Altuve pitch, I forget the count on it, but I don't think it was a 1-2. It might have been a 2-2, which you don't want to go 3-2 on Altuve, so that's difficult. But pitchers are going to start. We talked about this at the top of the show. They're going to try to find ways to hide how they're actually throwing at the batters, you know? But
So-
put Astros on base. You are going to lose the game. I'm sorry. If you hit 3 batters and you automatically put 3 extra runners a game on for the Astros, you are screwed. It's not like we're the Detroit Tigers or the Chicago White Sox that can't drive in runners. You put our top batters on, you're in trouble, bro. Like, bad trouble. And I just don't – maybe some of these lower-seeded teams might beam and get in trouble and get thrown out of the game because they don't care. I don't see the Yankees doing it. I don't see the Dodgers doing it. I don't see Minnesota, Atlanta. I don't see the Rangers. The Rangers might. I don't know. But if anybody's in a hunt, you're not going to put Astros players on base. You're in deep shit if you do that.
Well, I think it'll be calculated if they do it. I mean, they're going to do it at the times where it's not as negligent to their wanting to win the game, the other team.
If it's 7-0 in the 8th inning and Altuve's coming up, he's getting beamed. That's for sure.
I hope that this is not a thing. As much as I can understand people being irritated with the Astros, I get it, and whatever. I hope this isn't a thing this year, and I think the Astros are one of the luckiest teams in the history of going through a scandal, playing this season the way they're playing it. 60-game season, no fans in the stands, like.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are and how tough you say you are.
Can you
100
imagine going
games
to,
and beyond of going to visiting arenas.
What
and
if they go to
stadiums.
listen, the first game in LA?
Yeah,
Oh my God, bro.
yeah,
Like in Dodger Stadium,
yeah.
they would go nuts.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking, like you might even have to stop the game.
I think they got lucky in that regard.
Hey, look,
That's true.
Nobody's
That's
talking about
very,
AJ Hinch
very true.
anymore. AJ Hinch is having a field day. Nobody
Yeah.
even knows who he is anymore.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Listen, you got today in sports history?
I do. Are we going to that?
Sure.
Sure.
Let's hit it.
Sweet. Let's do my thing.
Let's do my thing. Wait, is it more Ranger stuff?
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not.
Okay.
But by God help y'all if the Rangers get good. Because, man,
Well, somehow-
if I'm
we'll
annoying,
somehow
if
be
I'm
like-
annoying now about the Rangers and they're not that
Oh,
great,
listen.
y'all will
Two
hate me
teams
if
that
the
I
Rangers
don't
are good.
like.
We'll just be like, hey, we're shooting at we're shooting downtown at this
and
location.
I'll show
Meanwhile,
up
we're
now
over at
out
Valor.
there. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we don't know what happened to.
Yeah.
2 Texas teams, Rangers and Spurs. I cannot stand.
Thank you.
But why the Rangers though? What have the Rangers done?
They're just
Dallas.
it's
I
Dallas.
mean, I get Cowboys because I get it, but the Rangers, like, what have the Rangers done that somebody has to be upset about?
No, I love the White Sox because they've never done anything. Well, yeah, they swept us, but like,
Watch out with the
Speaking of
White Sox.
White Sox and Cubs, they had the highest rating the other day since the Jordan documentary on ESPN.
Jeez.
nice.
Believe it or not.
Told you. Remember, I told you the ratings for these games are going to be.
I mean, the
roof.
White Sox are gonna be good too.
Roof, 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 roof.
Okay, so today is July 23rd, 2020. Did you know that in 1925, New York Yankee Lou Gehrig hit his first of his 23 Grand Slams?
You've brought him up in another
Yeah.
sports history.
Well, because
Yeah.
Lou
moment.
Gehrig
Yeah,
like
he's got
has
a
all
bunch of
kinds of
them.
records. 1987, July 23rd, 1987. Did you know that Red Sox wave Bill Buckner a year
After the
World
Oh
Series.
man, after he let the ball go through his legs.
That was a mercy killing. They just they were just like,
He better be
"Look,
glad
Bill."
they won 2 World Series after that because they would still
Oh my
shame him.
gosh. I
They
think
even
that
had
was,
a day for him to where he came to the park and they forgave him.
and I watched it, and he was he was real emotional about it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was crazy. We're talking about White Sox earlier. Did you know that in July 23rd, 2009, Mark Burley of the White Sox becomes the 18th pitcher to throw a perfect game in Major League Baseball history, beating the Devil Rays 5-0.
Back when it was the Devil Rays.
Good point.
July 23rd, 1944. Did you know that Chicago Cubs Bill Nicholson hits 4 home runs in a doubleheader? That's pretty crazy. 4 home runs in a doubleheader. This stat I saw, and I think it was amazing. It's weird how things happen on the same day at different time periods. 1955, New York Yankees Bob Curve and E. Howard are the first to hit consecutive pinch hit home runs.
Nice.
Same day, July 23rd, 1975, LA Dodgers W. Crawford and Lee Lacy are the 5th to hit consecutive pinch hit home runs.
Pinch hit home runs. Nice.
I thought that was amazing. 1979, George Brett gets his 1,000th hit.
Ooh, love Brett.
Ended up his career with 3,154 hits.
But what's he most famous for?
Of course, the pine tar incident.
Like,
Running out of there like a crazy person.
That was awesome.
And then this. Do you ever remember? I don't know how you were about baseball, but I remember certain eras and certain players, like the old Cincinnati Reds.
Yes. The Big Red Machine.
The Big Red Machine. Chris Sabo. Wasn't Chris Sabo all that?
Yeah, Pete Rose, Sabo. Man, I could go.
Well, this guy, 1991, July 23rd, Rob Dibble.
Yep.
He just came back from a 3-game suspension. He's ejected for throwing at and hitting Cubs base runner Doug DeSanzo.
Probably, I mean, that team was ruthless, bro.
That thing was Eric Davis. Man, who else?
Eric
was
Davis was in Cincinnati. You're talking about Rod Carew.
Yeah, Rob Dibble, Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah. Eric Davis was later. No, he wasn't part of the Big Red Machine.
Okay.
I don't think.
He
He ended up playing with the Orioles, Baltimore Orioles. He retired
Yeah.
as an Oriole.
Yeah. And then I got a couple birthdays baseball. Dan Drysdale was born in Van Nuys, California in 1936. Won the Cy Young in 1962, named after Cy Young.
Stop it.
Pee Wee,
Stop it now.
Pee Wee Reese.
Pee Wee Reese.
His legal name, Harold Reese, for the Dodgers, was born in
Yeah,
Akron,
that was
Kentucky
gangster.
in 1918. And
You're
then,
a dick.
and then Nomar Garcia Parra was born in Whittier, California in 1973 today.
Nice.
He was dope, man. Nomar.
Nomar.
He wasn't so good on at the plate, but man, fielding wise,
He was just a hustler.
yeah, I
Nomar
think
was a hustler,
probably one of the
dude.
best fielders Boston's ever had in their history. Like he was phenomenal.
He was dope.
Great
Yankees
stuff,
are up.
Grant.
Yankees
Oh,
are up
hey.
4-1 right now.
Thank you.
Just so you guys know. Sports with Balls, y'all.
Hey.
Check us out on Facebook. Check us out on Instagram. We got a lot of big things coming.
Yeah, we do.
This was a lot of baseball. On Monday, we have our NBA special. So we're gonna come at you with a lot of Rockets, a lot of Mavericks, a lot of other teams that are coming up, kind of like we did today.
If you think
And,
I know you
Greg-
with the Rangers, wait till we talk about the Mavericks.
Oh, the Mavs. The Rangers annoy me more than the Mavs. What I was going to say really quick is that Greg asked about the Blue Jays home stadium, PNC Park, Pittsburgh. That was denied yesterday, and now they're in talks with Maryland.
They'll find a place.
So they'll find a place.
They'll find a
And
place.
Baltimore.
Somebody's gonna know they're gonna have enough money and watch. That'll be one of those teams that'll just all of a sudden start playing real well.
Blue Jays are young and talented, man.
Yeah,
Well,
you
hey,
never know.
We've loved being here once again. We all
Yes,
know that you love
Valor.
it too. All
My
these-
boy Brock.
You got to come check it out. Seriously. Such a cool place,
2217
dude.
West 34th Street, Valor Barbershop. You guys come in here. They're absolutely amazing. Thank you guys for watching Sports with Balls. Johnny J, thank you very much. Once again, World Series prediction. Who's winning?
Dodgers.
Astros.
Astros.
Shocking.
We'll see you. Sports with Balls. We're
See
out.
y'all next time.
Jump in my 6'4" and let the top dine. Trunk hitting hard when I swing through H-time. Cup full of oil and an orange kush sweet. Cause this is how we do it in that 713. My candy red paint cocked up on foe. Shocking and body rocking cause the south side ho. DJ Screw got me